Welcome to the watching show, a show that isn't that. It's the listening one. Are we gonna go through with that? Yeah. Welcome to the listening show. I was thinking of the other one. And we do. This is a good time to plug if we haven't done it in a while. We have another show called the Watching Show you can watch where we play video games. But this is the chill long form show that you can listen to. What's the name of that show?
The show you can listen?
Yeah.
The listening show.
That's the one. Yeah, I forgot. But welcome to the listening show. If you were here before the watching show, like I thought I was, I'm sorry. We both are on the wrong place today. We're late on this one. How long? We usually do it on a Friday, but was it Tuesday?
We usually do it
Whoops.
between Friday and Sunday, and it's Tuesday, so we're way late.
Whoops. But if we get the next one on time, on the upside, that means you're going to have today, and you'll have another one in like 3 days.
Yeah. You had brought up yesterday, you were like, I wonder if anybody even cares.
No, I specifically said, I wonder if there's someone out there who is actually very disappointed that it's not out today.
Yeah.
And they're like, where is the listening show? I need it. Like, I wonder if there's one person who's like that.
Yeah, if that's
If you're there, comment, let us claim the title and say in the comment, like I was the person who was wondering where you guys were.
Yeah, and then you get to be named the number one fan. You get to be that if that's what you say.
I was gonna contest that, but I guess no one else has claimed the number one fan, so it's up.
Yeah, that's
someone can claim that if they want.
Yeah, we've got a couple people who have commented a few times that I remember have commented a few times, but none of them have risen to the surface. None of them have rose to the surface. None of them have been the foam at the top of the root beer float that is sort of accumulated at the top of the dessert that is this show.
What made you think of foam at the top of a root beer float? What made you think of root beer float?
Well, I was thinking of things that can kind of conglomerate to the surface of a thing, can rise to the top.
You thought of root beer float.
Yeah, I just thought of
just
foam.
oddly specific.
A foam on a float, man.
But why?
Well, in my head, I was thinking, it would be a fun exercise to do on this episode of the listening show. And I was going to tell you this, but I guess I'll just do it now. To do like more not word association, but like train of thought stuff, and then just say what comes to mind.
I get it.
And so what I thought was rise to the surface, and then I thought foam, and then I thought root beer float.
See, when you say foam, the first thing I thought of was like foaming at the mouth, train of thought, and then the foaming at the mouth character from Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's where my brain went, but you went right to root beer float, which I thought was oddly specific because, I don't know, I've been having a root beer float like every week for the past 3 weeks.
Really?
Because I was trying to recapture some childhood.
Did it work?
A little bit, yeah. So we have an A&W Long John Silver's, and I thought, well, if anyone's going to make a good root beer float, it's root beer A&W, and it's good. It's good, but it feels like
it's the float restaurant.
It feels, yeah, I guess so. It feels kind of fast foody. I think it's because it's soft serve ice cream, like you'd get in a McFlurry or not McFlurry, like funnel. What do you call that? Soft serve, where it comes out of a tube. Not real ice cream. It was like that kind of ice cream in the root beer float, which tasted good.
Like a mix-in kind of thing where they mix it to themselves.
You know the Asianese restaurant, the buffet, and you squeeze it out and you get either vanilla, mixed, or chocolate?
Yeah, they're like the one at Pizza Street.
Haven't been there in years.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Pizza Street.
It tastes good, but in the float, that's not what I wanted. I wanted actual scoops of vanilla. So I rode to Wichita, I told you, and I said I was going to sit at a bar and watch the game and then ride back. And I did, and they're on the dessert menu, root beer float. Oh, I got to try this. Fortunately, it's exactly what I wanted. Root beer with 2 like just chunk scoops of vanilla ice cream. Like this makes me happy.
You watched the game? You actually did?
Well, I watched a lot of it. I didn't get to watch the whole thing because I was riding to and from. But I got an authentic root beer float, not a fast food kind.
Dude.
And the bartender asked, "How is it?" And I said, "Or how is it?" I think is what she said. And I said, "Tastes like childhood." And she and the guy next to me laughed.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it's good. That's what I wanted.
That's happy and fun. And
I didn't say this, but I was thinking, you know what this needs? What would go great with this is a grilled cheese sandwich.
Whoa.
Just straight grilled cheese.
dude.
And rip your float.
Like a really crappy grilled cheese.
Yeah, like Sonic. That's where it came from for me as a kid. Was you get a grilled cheese sandwich and tots,
yeah,
and for dessert you get a rip your float
on white bread, and then it's like warm white bread, but not crunchy at all. It's like
it's a tiniest bit of crunch. It's mostly microwaved, but at least it's got the appearance of a grilled cheese.
It has the appearance of being toasted when in reality it's moist.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Man,
like,
I want that right now.
It sounds terrible. I do too.
But that's something train of thought. That's something from childhood that I recently thought of. And I'm glad I thought it and got it, some of it.
I'm glad you did too. I thought about mowing the lawn the other day, and this is a weird kind of brain association that occurred with me, but it made me want a fudge push pop. You ever have a fudge push pop?
So a push pop, isn't that like a cylindrical thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't think I've had a chocolate or a fudge push pop. They're always.
Have you ever had a
fruit
push
flavored.
pop?
Yeah. If I'm thinking of the same thing, that's why I asked what it was.
Now, let me just explain the difference. One of the push pops is more fruity, but the fudge one is comprised of fudge. So it's good instead of bad.
This is a train of thought thing, so let me know if I'm detracting from what you're getting at. But there was an ice cream on a stick. What are those called? Popsicles. That's the one. It was a vanilla popsicle, but it was covered with chocolate, like the Haagen-Dazs bars, whatever, to kind of get a baseline. But it had on it crunchy stuff. Crunchy. Oh,
nuts.
No, it was like
Rice Krispies?
Maybe what kind of like that. Maybe what Oreo cookies would have been made out of. So like crunchy chocolate stuff or crunchy. There's 3 different colors. The best ice cream you could get. I don't know about you, but as a kid, we would actually get ice cream from the Schwann's ice cream truck.
Yeah.
Did you get Schwann's ice cream?
No, but my grandparents did, and I only ever wanted to be at their house because of it. Yeah. They got the Schwann's, and they also got drumsticks. They'd get like the 60 pack of drumsticks.
You mean like meat?
No, I mean the ice cream.
Okay.
They'd get a 60 pack of drumsticks
because
and they'd fill their freezer. I just now, when I was saying it out loud, I realized how ridiculous. 60 drumsticks.
Well, if Schwann's comes by here, that's what I'm going to ask for. Hey, do you have 60 drumsticks?
So many drumsticks.
And you have Opie who goes, yeah. I'll be like,
you can eat
have to
2
get
a
it.
day for a month. That's so many. That's so much.
That sounds amazing.
I know, but they did it for us too.
Oh, yes, love.
Well, they were granddads.
Hey, babe, I got you 60 drumsticks.
They got it because like we liked them, and then my dad and my uncle liked them, and they liked them. So I'm sure they were gone pretty quick.
It seemed like everybody liked them.
Dude, they had like that little nugget of chocolate at the bottom of the cone.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
I love that.
Dude,
so
good.
when I think back to Schwann's, it was just ice cream. And I remember at some point as a kid, it started being ice cream and frozen dinner. And I was like, you sell ice creams, you can't sell food. And then the late years of living at the house with my family, I remember the Schwann's truck was on the sides. It just showed like food, not ice cream.
Yeah,
like, that's so sad.
It's known for food now.
Now it's food, I think. But I remember the very first thing I remember from Schwann's is, wow. I had this thought the other day. I don't know if it was related to Rip Your Floats, but I remembered something very specific that I didn't know I remembered until I remembered it. It's a childhood thing. Can't explain it. Probably insignificant to you, but the first thing I remember from Schwann's is we called it a gallon. I think it was actually more like 2 gallons, but it was like a white tub carton you'd get from Schwann's, and it was just vanilla. And I remember the construction of it and what the lid was made out of, because we'd keep those and we'd use them for things.
Yeah.
And I remember I thought I was a genius. I stood 3 of them in a staircase formation, and I poked a hole in the bottom, and I filled them all up, and I filled the top. I filled them all with water, and I just watched the water like continue for a long time. It would just stick out the hole, land in this open container, whatever. I just remember those tubs and how great it was to get those in vanilla. We just eat vanilla ice cream, which is weird, but
it's good.
If you're gonna eat vanilla ice cream, start as a kid. That's the first ice cream, but it was so good, man. It was the best ice cream. I don't know. I think when I was a kid, I'm thinking of somebody. It might have been you. You were bragging about how you and your family made homemade ice cream. and you had a machine to do it.
I think I have done that before. Yeah.
Does that sound familiar?
I don't
'Cause
know that it
never
was when
made
I was a
homemade ice
kid
cream.
though. We did that when we were a little older, like
How old?
like teens.
Yeah, that might be it. But I think train of thought. I gotta clarify why I'm saying these
Yeah,
things.
do
What
it.
is the best ice cream you've ever had?
Yeah. I think it's probably vanilla. I mean, like that tub vanilla can really be good sometimes. Like that really crappy but vanilla ice cream. To be honest though, after we're done with this, I'm going to Cold Stone again. I'm gonna go get
you
some
liked
more.
it?
Yeah. Here's the thing I
forgot
like
we got
about Cold
Cold
Stone.
Stone
Yeah,
ice
here's the
cream.
thing I like about it. Ready? Other ice cream just gives up without a fight, but Cold Stone, it's just like it's tossing haymakers like 3 chews into it. It's like still, it's got a little resistance to it. I was trying to describe it to our friend, and I was like biting into it, and I was like, so if you were to bite into a Cold Stone, like a spoonful of ice cream from Cold Stone, and then you pulled away like teeth first, then there would be tendrils because it would like try to stay together. You know, it really fights back that ice cream. I like a spunky ice cream. You know?
Is the right word texture?
Yeah,
whatever
the viscosity,
Whatever that word is, I agree. I like the texture, viscosity,
the thickness,
the form.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is. It's like it's made of some sort of delicious glue, and it just wants to be
I know what you're
stuck
talking
together.
about, and I like it there a lot too.
Yeah.
And I
like
at
an ice
least
cream that
understood the
fights
way you
back.
said it. I was going to say, other ice cream just gives up. This one puts up a fight, and you chew into it. It's still not separating. I get that. Yeah. It's kind of the same way with pizza and cheese. Sometimes I want the right amount of fight. I don't want it to. The whole topping of cheese comes off with one bite, and then the pizza sauce. But I also want tendrils.
Oh yeah, tendrils
Anyway,
are.
I don't want to jump too far. Ice cream. What's the best ice cream you think you've ever had? And I don't mean flavor. I mean like where, type, or brand or something.
I don't know, dude. They're all good.
Because I don't know if anything specific, but I'm thinking of that tub now. Like if I could have one now, I want the original Schwann's tub, which they almost certainly don't have anymore.
Well, the Schwann's tub, I'm decently sure is just a cheap tub. Like you could get it anywhere.
But I don't think they sell those tubs. I'm sure Schwann still sells vanilla ice cream, but the odds are that their recipe has changed.
For
They're
sure.
very high. So I mean, I probably won't.
And it's
feel like
mostly
getting-
fake anyway.
But the Haagen-Dazs popsicle bars, those are great.
They're great. I actually think I do know the answer. I just now
What is it?
remembered. Okay, so in Florida, do you remember when we went to the Ghirardelli store? Do you remember the
you mean
Ghirardelli?
Ghirardelli? How is it pronounced?
I don't know. I've only ever heard
took me a second.
Ghirardelli.
Okay, yeah.
But Ghirardelli I've heard too, I guess. But when we went there to that ice cream shop, that's one of my favorites. It's in Florida. It's at the Disney
You mean the Florida
downtown Disney.
Universal?
No, downtown Disney in
Okay.
Florida. I think it's either in Kissimmee or Orlando, but it's like in Disney World kind of, but it's like it's like a shopping place for Disney. And then there they have like this fairy tale kind of Ghirardelli or Ghirardelli ice cream place that's always busy. I've never not seen it with a huge line. And I've been there at like 9 a.m. Like I've been there in the morning and late at night, and like every time between, because every time we go to Florida and every time we have gone to Florida, we've gone to the Ghirardelli place like 3 times each time because we love it there. But that ice cream is so good.
You just made me really happy with a specific memory that does not exist. You said ice cream 9 a.m. I was like, if you were a child and you were just given autonomy or you just became a legal adult, what's like the first thing you do? Breakfast or dessert before breakfast. I'd open up a tub of ice cream at 9 a.m. and I want to do that. I thought about it. I don't think I've ever done that, but I want to do it to say I've done it and to know that I've done it. Wouldn't it be great? Like you wake up 9 a.m. I'm going to open up some ice cream.
That does sound good.
Or go get some amazing Ghirardelli, however it's pronounced, ice cream.
I did, like, even as a kid, I stand me some like cereal. Like I probably wouldn't have skipped cereal to eat dessert. I would have been like excited to eat cereal. And then like, wait, if I could have ice cream too, I'd definitely have it. But I wanted to eat cereal for every meal.
Man, the privileges of being able to just choose your own cereal. That was always great because I don't know about you, but as kids, it's whatever my parents got, and you got to choose from one of those. And then the one good cereal was gone right away because us kids would eat it. And then like, well, I guess I'm having Rice Krispies. What are those called?
just said it.
cornflakes,
Rice
whatever,
Krispies.
or generic cornflakes.
Yeah.
Kit Kat. Anyway, I remember.
was the good one?
What was the good one?
Yeah, what was the good cereal?
As a kid, second.
Charms.
Oh yeah, what's my favorite? But the good ones were that one, Captain Crunch, and Trix.
Trix
Yeah,
is
Trix.
yummy, yeah.
And then we had some other ones like Reese's for a long time. We'd go through those. The original Oreo cereal was amazing. But
Yeah.
of course, that's candy. It's literally just candy cereal.
It is.
But I remember when at some point we just got to pick what cereal we wanted or buy our own cereal. Cereal's even better at that point. But anyway,
Yeah, we didn't have a big, very varied selection because my mom kind of got to be a health nut. Not like a lot, but she would. I still remember we'd go to stores and we would look at the back, and she would have us kids be honest. She'd be like, "All right, what do you want?" And we'd be like this, and she's like, "All right, read the back." And what we looked for was partially hydrogenated oil. And if it had partially hydrogenated oil in it, we wouldn't ever get that food. We couldn't have PHO is what they called it. And that's
you used to
because it
go-
was proven to cause cancer, and it still is.
nice.
But anyway, so like we couldn't eat Lucky Charms or any of that stuff if we were at home. Now that made sleepovers and
Yeah,
slumber
I was gonna
parties with my
say.
friends so much better. Like very fun because you'd go there and they'd have like six
Tons
things
of
you couldn't have.
hydrogenated oil.
Oh,
partially. I mean,
Like none of it would be at all without hydrogenated oil. Like it would be completely hydrogenated.
yeah, I saw that coming.
And they had, and like people, when I would go over, they'd be like, geez, Zach, you had like 4 bowls of cereal. And I'd be like, I know, I don't get this stuff at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure that made it really awesome for my friends to invite me over. No, and my mom would be like, what'd you guys eat? I'd be like, oh, just some cereal. And I'd hope she wouldn't ask
Yeah, yeah.
because I knew it was hydrogenated.
Cancer.
It was partially hydrogenated oil. I still avoid that stuff though, if I'm honest.
Interesting.
I kind of look for it because I know it's bad for you. She was showing me pictures of people that had eaten partially hydrogenated oil.
I just imagine super like crumpled, like decrepit, like dead
Yeah, like the
corpses. Basically, this guy had partially hydrogenated oil.
yeah, like the what's that metal that people used to apply?
Lead.
No, not lead. It's like it's bad for you.
Apply where?
to their like face and stuff to look youthful.
I thought that was
mercury.
lead. Oh,
Mercury.
I didn't know they
when
put
peop-
that on their face.
Oh yeah, people used to
I thought
like.
we always knew that was bad.
No. There's there's a whole bunch of things that people would do that were bad, but there was a bunch of lawsuits because people would like do stuff with mercury. But maybe it wasn't mercury. Maybe it was some sort of metal that is clearly bad for you, and people know that now. Oh
Oh no.
man, why can't I think of it? But I'm sure that the same as with mercury. Train of thought stuff. Do you ever watch Tragedy YouTube?
No.
Oh
I don't know what that is.
Well, I don't know. Just like you ever watch videos about tragedies that have happened, and you get the rundown of them.
Well, sure, yeah. I thought you were talking about something specific, and I didn't know. Generally, tragedy videos on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Well, I watch those too, but like where radiation happens and kills a bunch of people or something, like the
Sure.
Chernobyl accident, and the
Yeah.
elephant's foot and stuff. You ever watch that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one. It's like called The Football or something or whatever, and it was like I don't know, uranium or something, and it exploded and killed people or something. The end. History on the listening show.
I almost did it again.
Yeah, I did do it again. No, I thought, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm going to forget it for sure. Mercury.
Wish
But
I could-
anyway, they have all these like nightmare pictures of people's faces where like the chemicals have eaten their cheeks out, and like you can see the inside of their mouth with their mouth closed, and like their jaws fall off and stuff
yeah.
because they would apply it liberally like makeup. And it did make you look youthful because it was literally like
Taking your
radiation
skin away.
Right. It made you look youthful because it'd make your skin red temporarily. But that redness was your body fighting off like
Radiation.
like death.
Yeah. Hot.
They were like, wow,
Attractive.
you look so hot. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's on fire.
It's like putting the sun next to your face for a few seconds and then being like, you got a tan.
Got a glow.
Yeah. So bad for you. Radon. That's what it's called.
Huh, that's a
The
metal?
radon. Yeah. People would take radon and they do that. And they call them the radon girls, I think. because people would sell it medicinally for like females, and males used it to like rich males. But there's like a bunch of really sad pictures of girls with like.
Yeah, and they took radon and they had a jaw-dropping experience.
Sometimes they did, dude. Sometimes they did, and some of them would like.
And then some assholes like me got cheeky.
Yeah, and then I see what you did there, but they also would do other things like put it on their stomachs to get rid of rolls, and then their stomachs would be all like you.
Then they got a bad gut feeling.
Yeah, they got a pit in their stomach.
I'm going for quantity over quality right now.
A pit in their stomach there.
That's a better one. Yeah, a literal pit.
Butterflies. Yeah. No, it's bad. I think it's called radon, but it's not good for you, even though people might have said it was.
Isn't radon what they used to spray wasps with? That's Raid. Radon.
Radon. Radon, I think is what it is. Okay. I think. I could be remembering wrong too.
I'm not a doctor.
Yeah. So what that makes me think of is like old-timey shows. Because we're doing the bunny trail thing. We're just going on train of thought.
Yeah, mostly it was about childhood, but since we're going anywhere, I think the theme of this episode is train of thought is what it's called. We're just literally just following where it takes us. So,
did you ever watch either Abbott and Costello or The Three Stooges?
I watched The Three Stooges.
Did you?
Don't think I know. No, I don't know what Abbott and Costello is. I might know it, but I didn't see it.
Okay. Abbott and Costello they're the ones. This is what I know them from, is from the bit about the
who's
baseball.
On first?
Yeah, who's on first? Right. That's them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who is on first? Yeah, and then what? What's on second? Not who. What? Anyway, I don't remember how it goes.
That'd be a fun skit to like memorize.
Oh, I know, right?
Perform.
I know. We could probably look it up on YouTube and just like try to remember it.
Be work, but be fun.
Enough people are stupid and kids like us and haven't seen the whole thing, and so it'd be good to like actually know it, and then people could be like, "Oh, these guys are so funny," and that like we then cultured. Are known as Well, they don't know that it was taken, because at most, like 90% of people don't know that it's.
Oh, really?
Oh, for sure.
I feel like
most people are so ignorant.
True. That's true. A lot of people are ignorant.
If we recorded the whole thing, put it on TikTok in our backyard, then it would go viral and whatever. People are like, these guys are so funny, it's so clever, and then like one or two comments in there would be like, that's from the Abbott and Costello.
I think enough people would spread the fact that this is taken from that, and then I think, but there would still be a lot of people, a high percentage of people who would never hear that, never care,
would never know either.
They never,
because no one would ever correct them whenever they needed to be corrected. Anyway,
how did you get there from radon?
Because I was thinking of the old days, and then I thought about old pictures, and then old pictures to old movies.
Speaking of which, of metal and old movies, do you know about the production hell for the Wizard of Oz movie?
Oh, where the dwarf guy died?
Dwarf?
The guy hung himself?
Ooh.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, I forgot, but there was a guy who hung himself on set and was in the movie. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Well, I was thinking specifically about the guy who played the Tin Man. Was that what he's called? Tin Man?
Yeah.
The makeup was basically just lead. So he was covered in lead. And it's not surprising he got poisoning. I think he died. If not, he was severely screwed.
That's not good.
But he was just one, and they all had horrible things happening. But anyway, radon, people face, old people. I thought of that. I didn't know that as a kid. I was blissfully ignorant.
There's a lot of really messed up things that happen in old time movies and stuff. Like I watched, I can't remember what the name of that movie is, but Laura brought it over, and it was the one where it was about the guy who was like the overseer of Galilee or something. And so it was kind of the same timeline as Christ. But then he like went to Rome, and he was like doing all this stuff. And Jesus is kind of like he's not part of the story, but
is this Passion of the Christ?
No, it's nothing to do with Jesus. It's just a story about this Roman guy or something. I don't know. I don't remember what he was, but he was like this guy. And then he's in like these chariot races and stuff, and like the gladiator games.
Oh, it has that famous chariot Colosseum scene.
Yep, where the guy died.
Yeah, right.
And they just had to keep filming the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that stuff like that happened in old movies all the time, where like people would like die, and they would just be like, "Oh, but this is the one shot we can afford, so we'll just keep going." Yeah. It's crazy how many like shows that or even things like in the Three Stooges where one of the guys gets severely injured and they just had to keep shooting.
Had to keep going on. What's his name? Joe Mo with the black or Mo with the black hair.
Yeah,
he broke a rib in one.
Broke a lot of ribs. Yeah,
and just kept going.
Yep.
I was just when you're talking, I was thinking, I wonder when the last time somebody died on live television happened, because I feel like it would have been a while, because we got to the point where we're ahead by several seconds and it would cut, but surely it's happened.
Yeah.
And I wonder how long or when that would have happened. I guess that'd be recorded. Like that's something I could probably find out by Googling if I wanted to know, but man, that's gotta be morbid. Like I just saw somebody die on TV. I just saw it, and oops, and the station's like, oops.
It's obviously not worse than dying, but I don't like watching the morbid injuries that happen in like sports on live TV.
You seem to like them. Hey, Walter, watch this. Watch him break his ankle. I'm like, I don't want to watch that.
I don't like them at all, but
you're like watching other people watch them.
It's like it's like watching a car crash. It's like you can't look away.
I can look away.
I
understand the saying.
Now I do, because I don't want to see something. Like I've seen a couple things now that I'm like kind of scarred by. So
yeah,
I like kind of look away.
I don't like them either.
Like, oh man, do you know who Ryan Shazier is?
No.
He was a linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he had an injury that he broke his back on the field. He like tried to like tackle this guy this like straight on, and his back just gave out under him, and he just was paralyzed on the field. And like that one made me reconsider how much I liked football. It was so sad to watch, but you know, he's walking now somehow.
That's good.
Like he was paralyzed from the waist down, and somehow he's able to walk again, which is good. But another kind of injury happened like that the other day, unfortunately. One of the Seahawks guys, I think he was immobilized on the field, and he could move his extremities, people said, but he had a spine injury, so they told him not to move at all, and so he got carted off. It's like, man, I hate that happens. It's like maybe once or twice every couple of years where somebody has to get carted off like that. Or, you know, people have to get carted off all the time, but where they can't move or they get put in a stretcher with the neck.
Don't move.
Right. Oh, I hate that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish that could not happen. But
Train of thought. I was thinking recently, and I just remembered it again. I would like to be educated, informed on ways to respond to emergency medical situations, so that if somebody has a problem, like they fall, they're having a seizure, I know exactly what to do to immediately help. I can't cure them, but so I don't stand there and go, I don't know what to do. I don't want that to happen when someone's like hurting. And then it occurred to me, my youngest brother is, I don't want to get this information wrong, training to be an EMT, paramedic, something like that. He's in the field. And I realized, oh, what a great asset. I could just ask him all those questions. He would actually know that stuff. Like, that'd be a really cool thing to know, is the short version. But there's a story with it that I guess I may as well tell where I got the desire to do that, because I was in high school, is in math class, and we're, I guess, doing homework or something. Every once in a while, one of us would walk up to the teacher to hand in our paper. This girl was walking to the teacher, and she just collapsed and just started like shaking and having an obvious seizure. I'd never had it before, but it was obvious. And we're all just stunned because it was so violent and so fast. And she was on her back and foaming at the mouth, and it was like white and red. I thought she's like bleeding out of her mouth.
She's probably biting her tongue.
And then one kid yelled out, what did he yell out?
Move her tongue.
Get her. Somebody sit her up or get her off her back. Like he was annoyed that no one was doing it. His name was, well, I shouldn't give his name out. Well, I want to, because he didn't do anything bad. He's a cool dude. But anyway, him or somebody ran up and got her off of her back so she wasn't going to choke on what's coming out of her mouth. Like, oh, it makes sense. Oh yeah, he said put her on her side.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyway, and the teacher too was just like, she went like white. A lot of us were just like, because look, she was just freaking dying in the most gruesome way.
Yeah.
But she was fine, and she came back and she, like one day, and she apologized. I'm sorry I did. And we're like, you apologize? Like you're okay, right? Yeah, I'm fine. It happens sometimes. It happens sometimes. Anyway, so she was fine, but it was so like just traumatic for all of us. I was like, I don't want to be that guy again who just stands there like a dumbass. Mm-hmm. I want to know if someone does something, what to do.
I think there's two schools of thought, and one is turn
School
them
of
on
thought.
their,
You connected the school, high school, train of thought and school of thought.
Oh,
Sorry,
I
go
was
ahead.
still talking about seizures, but
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
know one of the things is to lift their legs up in the air so the blood rushes back to their head.
Yep.
And I did that one time. We were at Arrowhead, my dad and I,
Yep.
and my dad and I, a guy started seizing in front of us, and we lifted his legs up, and right away he just like came to. He's like, "Oh, thanks," and he just walked away. And so like I know that worked quick, and so he wasn't doing that for long. But another thought is that don't want them to choke on their tongue, so you turn them over to the side.
Yeah. I know those
Or
two
bite their
things.
tongue. Yeah. Ugh.
But there are a lot of situations where, be nice to know. Like, I know some things, not a lot, but like one time, I think a guy broke his collarbone. He was like doing this, trying to pick. I said, don't move your shoulder. I said, but that should have been obvious. I thought he would know that, but I wish I knew. Hey, here's how to take care of yourself until actual professionals show up. That'd be a nice thing to know.
Yeah. I thought of something while you were telling the story, but it has
Forgot
left,
the other one. Sorry.
it has left my
You
brain.
said you had two schools of thought. One of them was you were helping a guy with
Nah,
a guy in
it's
Arrowhead
just-
Stadium. Okay.
The two schools of thought were what the two things to do when someone's seizing is
Okay.
do what you can to prevent them from swallowing their tongue, which in some cases is like,
Well, train of thought. Ride one of those trains somewhere. Biting your tongue. Arrowhead Stadium. I'm giving you different topics. Seizures. No school of thought. I just had one.
I'm working on trying to figure out the thing I was going to tell, but go ahead.
Whatever. Just because that's the point of the episode. We went by Arrowhead Stadium once. I can't remember what. Oh, that's right. We went to go see Brian Regan. That's what it was. We went to go watch Brian Regan perform, and afterwards, like, can we go to Twin Peaks? We've never been there. Let's go look at boobies or something. And we were both out. That's ridiculous. We would never go to Twin Peaks. Let's go to Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
So we went to Twin Peaks, which I think was, I remember seeing Arrowhead Stadium on the way out there. So that's why I thought of it.
I don't think that. Okay. I was going to correct you and tell you that Arrowhead's like way north of where we went to see Brian Regan, but it's possible that we drove the wrong way a long way.
I seem to remember, but I could be wrong. I'm not ready to put money on it.
Yeah, and it's not important either. That was an interesting experience at Twin Peaks. I like Twin Peaks now.
I've only been there that one time.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like you've been there other times.
I don't know.
I used to I had scheduled massages on like Wednesdays or something every week.
At Twin Peaks?
No, I'll get there. I would have scheduled massages at like 6 or something on a certain day of the week, and I got off at 5, and so my drive to the massage place was like 30 minutes, and so I'd kill like 30 minutes, and the only place close was Twin Peaks, and so I had like this routine for like a month while I was doing this massage thing because I was injured.
Right.
I would go into Twin Peaks and get a drink and then hang out with the bartender, and she was awesome. She was so fun. But then I'd just get one drink and then I'd be like, all right, off to my massage. And I remember I was like mainly sad when I couldn't do more massages because I wouldn't get to go hang out there for like my little 15
At least
minutes.
you would have a
and
good
drink.
reason to go. Kind of
Yeah,
thing,
and I really started liking that. My old boss from like years ago, he had this hilarious story. Think like Nebraska boy, like kind of conservative guy.
Yep.
And he had this hilarious story where he invited his wife's parents, his in-laws, to come celebrate Valentine's Day. And all the restaurants were booked up and on Valentine's Day. And so they're like, what's this Twin Peaks place? And like they're conservative Christian people or whatever. And so he has this hilarious story where they were like, they went to Twin Peaks and it's on Valentine's Day. And on Valentine's Day, I guess they wear like lingerie or something.
Yeah.
Like, something a little more special than their regular outfits.
Yeah.
And I remember like, he was so embarrassed, and like he told us about it the next day. He was like, "You guys, I went to." He was like, and her parents were like, "Well, we have to eat," and so they just stayed there. Which I was like, at least they were cool about it, and that was a funny story. I think that guy, I seem to have heard that he's loosened up a lot since I left there. Like he's a little more.
That changed him, huh?
Yeah, one day at Twin Peaks is all you need to become a changed man. Nah, it's a cool place. They're all nice there. I've gone a few times. I sometimes go with Jordan, who used to be our roommate. That's kind of our spot we'll go to once in a while.
I went to Hooters one time. Have you been to Hooters?
Oh, yeah.
I was there one time in Hawaii. What was going on? I was renting a motorcycle, or I was on a motorcycle. It was getting dark. Didn't know where I was relative to the hotel. I can't remember why. It's because I had been up for almost 48 hours. That was the one time I was up for 2 days. I was hungry. I hadn't had a chance to eat in a long time. I wanted to eat immediately, but everything nearby was closed. And I didn't know where I was really. I was in a new place. I looked up. One place is open, Hooters. Like, fine. I wouldn't go to Hooters otherwise. I need to eat. So I went there, and I had chicken wings. It was really good. I was like, I'm glad I came here. And my waitress was nice, and I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Well, I should come back again. And I haven't, but I've been to Twin Peaks once and Hooters once.
Yeah.
And the Hooters food was good. It was really good. But Twin Peaks, I remember I was like, it's just a burger. So I don't know. That's my train of thought.
Yeah, Hooters is famous for I think it's fried pickles. I think they fry pickles or something. It's something about pickles.
There are a few places that have good fried pickles, I think.
I'm pretty sure Hooters is that's what they're known for, is the fried pickles. I don't like pickles really that much. I'm trying to start liking them, but even when I ate one or two of those, I was like, I can say that this is good if you like pickles for sure.
I had really good fried pickles somewhere. I feel like I was with you, but anyway, I don't really care about pickles. I'll eat them. I wouldn't go out of my way to order fried pickles unless it was a social thing. We're all getting fried pickles. Like, all right, I'll eat them with you. You know, that's how I feel about them.
Freaking Nathan. One time we lived together, and I was like, hey, will you get me a beer while you're in the kitchen? We were watching the game, and he comes back in and he goes, I popped the cap for you. And I took a drink and I almost threw up because he had dumped like a tiny bit of beer out and filled the rest with his excess pickle juice. It was so gross. I remember being actually enraged. I was
bet
very
you'd be
mad.
angry.
I was mad. I was like, first of all, you wasted one of my beers. This is undrinkable now. But I was trying not to, be mad at him. Right. And so I just remember being like, and he was like, and then I remember we had a friend over, and it was his friend, and his friend was like, man, that's messed up. You can't do that to him.
That's messed up.
You can't mess with a guy's beer. And I remember being like, all right, someone's on my side here, and I don't need to be mad at him because he sees what I just went through, what I've just done. I can't believe you've done this. That's what I thought when he did it. I can't believe
I drank the whole thing, and then I said, I can't believe you've done this.
I did not drink the whole thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's so gross.
So did you almost spit it up?
I had swallowed it before I realized.
Ooh.
And I almost threw up. Because, beer is sort of that you don't taste it right away. It's like you put it in your mouth, cold, swallow it, and then you start tasting it.
Yeah.
So it's like cold, yum, swallow.
Plus you're not paying attention. You're watching TV. So
Right. And I should have guessed by the way he gave it to me, he was probably smiling. He's like, I even opened it for you. And he was looking side-eyeing, kind of like,
don't smell it.
don't smell it. The other thing that should have kind of piqued my it should have made me pay attention.
Suspicion?
Yes, my suspicion is that it was filled all the way to the top.
Yeah,
I put it in my mouth.
That's kind of a giveaway.
Well, I didn't think about it. I was just
boy, that's great
wow,
for me. I
there's a lot of
sure
beer.
am thirsty.
Yeah.
Lucky me.
It's so gross. I'm still mad at him about that. I'll have to remind him he did that to me and make him pay. We have what that reminds me of is that we have a bet on our fantasy football league, right? Mm-hmm. Whoever ends the year with the bet, the closest to the championship, gets to pick a Pokemon card of the others of their choice, except for the Zards. I put in a little, except for the Zards, because the Zards are really valuable, and I have 7 of them, and he owns 1. And I was like, yeah, you could pick anything, but we both have ultra rares and stuff, so and honestly, we each put $50 into the pot of this 10-man group. So whoever wins is gonna get $350, which is good. But the Pokemon cards might be a bigger win. Yeah, honestly, some of those Pokemon cards are worth $500, or more.
Gambling.
Yeah, it's basically. You since you've been playing Pokemon, have you started keeping track of any of the Pokemon's names? You kind of getting familiar?
No.
You're not even a little bit getting familiar with some of them?
I mean, if you'd show me the Pokemons I've seen in the game, I'd probably remember 1 or 2 names. That's Sobble or whatever. But no, otherwise no.
Interesting.
Nope, not interesting.
Okay. Not interesting. Then.
Stop taking interest in my story. I just wish you wouldn't do that.
I hate it. I hated it.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah. I've been watching Pokemon speed runs, but the Nuzlocke speed runs. Nuzlocke, which means if your Pokemon faints, it dies and you can't have it anymore.
What does the name come from? I hear Nuzlocke and I think like Nuzzle Lock. Like
I have
put
no
your
idea.
noses together. That's what I think of when I hear it.
That's a great question. I have
It's
no
gotta
idea.
mean something. It's gotta come from somewhere in the game. Probably. It seems like such a specific non-word.
Yeah, or like it's perhaps it started because a guy started doing that run and maybe his name was Nuzzle or something like that. I don't know. I'd be interested if someone knows the lore of speedrun history to tell me that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the Pokemon is making me think of the fact that I had a friend from church that I went to his house one time a long time ago. And he pulled me up to his room and he goes, I have a lot of Pokemon cards. He was whispering for some reason.
Because it's a sin. Because it's a sin. You can't. You can't watch or have Pokemon because it's evolution.
Right.
So you can't. It's bad.
Right. And so he was like, I have a lot. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, you want to see him? I was like, yeah. And he's like, my mom wants me to get rid of him. So do you want him? And I remember being like, yeah. But that was only because it was bad to have them. I didn't know any of the Pokemon.
Yeah, but they're bad. Therefore, I want them.
And so he gave me his Pokemon cards from the first Pokemon trading box, first edition Pokemon cards. This was like 17 years ago. Mm-hmm. I was like 8. Mm-hmm. Actually, I would have been 9. 17 years ago. Yeah, it's 2003, 2004, and he said I've had these for a couple years. So it was the first ones that came out in like 2000, like 1999, 2000. And I remembered he like showed me them, and I remember they were imprinted in my mind because it was so special. Mm-hmm. And I remember he was like, "I'll give you all of them, but I'm gonna keep my Charizard," because he had a Charizard. And I remember thinking, "Oh, so why don't you just keep them all if you want them?" He's like, "Well." After I asked him that question, he realized, wait, I shouldn't keep any because then I'll be in trouble. So he even gave me the Charizard.
Speech 100. Well, then why would you keep this one? Mm-hmm. You should give it to me.
All that to say, do you know what one of those Charizards just went for recently?
3 guesses, higher or lower.
Okay.
2,000.
Higher.
5,000.
Okay, I'm going to give you one hint here.
Okay.
So much higher.
Okay.
So much higher.
So forget the 5,000. I'm gonna say 500,000.
Higher.
2.5 million is my last guess. That's correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think the most recent one, the PSA 10 first edition Charizard, went for $2.5 million.
So you're sitting on like maybe $1 million right now.
You want to know where I put those?
In the flood? Did they get destroyed?
I believe they are in the trash.
I don't know why that was so funny. I believe they are in the trash. Where did I put them? Oh, yes, in the trash.
You want to know what's really sad?
Yeah, what's really sad?
Because he gave me the whole book, and he had put all of the nice ones in a book, so they were good condition.
Oh, man.
I know I gave some of them to my cousin, but I remember I liked the cool ones, and I kept the cool ones, and I threw them away probably like 10 years ago. So I was like 16 and I threw these away because I was like, these are garbage. No one's ever going to want them. Then there was like the Pokemon trading card boom of like 4 or 5 years ago where people started being like, these are my childhood and now I have a bunch of money and I want them back and I want them in good quality. And so all these people started like investing in Pokemon cards and reselling them and eBay and all this stuff. And then like several YouTubers got involved, and then they even boosted the desire for them more. Collectors who collected everything wanted them. Mm-hmm. And who would have known that, you know, if I would have just waited 10 years, I could be sitting on millions of dollars. Cause I believe like they're like even their second and third best, like they're like Ivysaur or Bulbasaur or whatever, the Venusaur, like Venusaur or Blastoise, and like some of those other really good, very rare ones, the shiny ones and stuff. I had like 6 of the Blastoises. Like 6.
That's sad.
I know. And I think those go for an average of like $80,000.
Well, it makes me feel a little bit better about losing $200 in cash one time. It just fell out of my wallet. That sucked. Losing $20 always sucks, but I lost $200 one time. But now I feel better because you threw away millions of dollars.
You know what I just remembered? I'm going to correct myself before someone else yells at me in the future when we have a ton of audience. I believe a Pokemon box went for $2.5 million. And the Charizard went for $1 million, I believe.
I buy that.
Maybe $1.4 million.
I buy that. It should be worth like at least half the box.
Actually, but now I'm thinking that I remember the box went for like $5 million. It was like a lot. I think there was a guy who had 2 boxes and they went for like $6 million or something. I can't remember now. So much money.
Many.
Yeah, and I had like 2 Charizards and one of them was a foil, and I had 6 of the Blastoise with 2 of those foil, and then I had like 2 or 3 Venusaurs. And all of those cards now are the kinds that when people open them up fresh from this packs, they're like shaking because it's like, like they're touching one. And I had like so many. It's so sad to think back on that. I know.
It's a sad story.
I know, but that's okay. I can't live my life with regret, man. I'm waiting for Lord of the Rings trading cards to blow up like that because I have a lot of Lord of the Rings trading cards.
You have a lot of cards. You have sports cards too, like baseball and any other sports?
Football, basketball. I got Michael Jordan cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rookie?
Don't think so. But I have rookie what's his name? I have a lot of rookie cards. Like I got some Larry Bird cards and I got
you don't have to answer. I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you had to estimate fair, so not conservative or liberally, just how much in cards do you think you're sitting on right now? Like
if I would take the time to eBay and sell them all individually.
If you put the time and money in to do it correctly, like $500,000 worth of cards.
No, not $500,000. If I had $500,000 in cards, I'd be doing that for my job.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance that if I sold all mine for top dollar, I'm just me with my current knowledge. If I had all the knowledge in the world, and stuff,
this is just a fair.
I think if I had all the knowledge in the world, I could probably, with all my cards, get something in the range of $60,000 to $80,000 or $100,000.
That's cool.
But I don't know what I'm doing, so I think if I put in the work with my current knowledge, I might be able to get $10,000 to $25,000.
That's still cool.
I know. I do have a lot of really cool cards. Like I got a Mean Joe Green rookie card. That's one of the other ones I have. And I have signed Bo Jackson cards.
Who's that?
Bo Jackson, he was like the fastest man in sports. He was famous because he was elite at 2 different sports. He played for the Royals, and he was one of the best baseball players in the game. And he played for the Raiders, and he played for them at the same time. And he was like one of the best running backs in the world too. So he was like a Kansas City guy and like a Raiders guy. And so everyone was conflicted.
Yeah, it's ironic because the Oakland Raiders are the Chiefs' rivals.
They are. They're now the Las Vegas Raiders, but then they were the Oakland Raiders, and they had Bo Jackson, who was a Kansas City Royal. Yeah, and I have Michael Jordan baseball cards. Yeah, I got 2 of them. Yeah. So I've got like cool cards. If anybody likes cards, and you want to see them or buy them from me for a lot of money, or however much you'll give me.
Otherwise, this time, unlike the first Pokemon cards you had, they're going to sit there and accrue value until one day you know that they're worth a lot of money, and then you're going to cash them in, basically. But in the meantime, just sit on them until...
What I really need to happen is I need like a resurgence of baseball. If there could be a baseball resurgence where it became like one of the most popular sports, then I think I'd do really well.
There's a virus that came out, and it killed baseball. And baseballs and bats can no longer be formed. And people have lost the ability to play the sport. It's ruined our genes. We can't physically play it.
Yeah, we can't.
So we
swing
need a special bioweapon that destroys the ability for humans to play baseball.
Yeah,
rich.
I think so. I think what would help is if people were allowed to do like performance enhancing drugs. I'd definitely watch baseball if people were juiced up on drugs. Can you imagine? Like, I know people get in trouble for that. They get in trouble for having substances on their gloves, like tar and stuff. Yeah. Like, they get kicked out of games and suspended for years. Like,
just
if they
imagine the batter at the plate and swings it. Like, just roided out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Something stupid.
It'd make the game more fun. Like everybody would tune in every time if everybody was just veiny and disgusting.
And they're all like brutalistic and barbaric and ape-like. All the players,
Yeah.
just crazy and all.
They swing and miss, and they're just like, and they just break it over their legs.
Exactly,
and-
they're just animalistic.
Yeah.
You're wildly entertaining.
yeah.
The sport doesn't really get done, but it's not about the sport. It's just about watching.
There'd be
people
so many fights where people would get baseballs.
Yeah, the
to
baseball.
face.
There's more physical fights between players than the sport is being played, and that's what people watch for. Doesn't that already exist? Is it hockey?
Yeah, hockey you can
Where
fight.
it's where people watch more for the
fights.
the fighting than the actual sport.
Some people do. Some people watch it for the sport. Like
Yeah.
I would like to watch. I wish that we had a hockey team here because I would really enjoy. I got into hockey for like 3 months, and I watched a lot. And I remember like loving it. I was like, man, I'm starting to like get how to play the game and what's cool to watch and what you're watching when you're watching it, and it is fun.
Train of thought.
Okay.
I have something to say, but you don't want to hear it, and you definitely don't want to smell it.
Okay, tell me. Nice.
The other thing is, I go to this piano store to play, to mess around, and there's it's a really, really awesome big place. There's a 9-foot piano I told you about, and there's a bunch of chairs there organized looking at the piano. I said, "Are you going to have someone play the piano?" They go, "Yeah, we're having a concert on Sunday at 4:00. I said, "Oh, great. Well, does it cost money to gig?" No. It's like, so free piano concert on that 9-foot piano? Like, yeah. And it's like, I want to watch that. I was like, I never asked myself if I would watch someone play piano, but I absolutely would. So I'm going to try to go, and I'm just excited to watch someone that I don't know play a piano because I can.
Wow.
And it's
I
just
wonder if
a
they're
little
gonna
good
play.
news.
Man, I bet I would know. I also got into classical music for like half a year or something, and so I like kind of know some of the classics like Debussy and like some of those guys like Beethoven and whatnot. I really like Debussy. I figured out I really like him, or Chopin, however you say his name. I really like those guys, and I like respect the crap out of them. I think Chopin was the guy who did the Flight of the Bumblebee. You know that song?
I might know the sound, but I don't know.
If you
by
heard it, you'd
name.
be like, "Oh yeah, I know
Yeah,
that." It's the one where it's like,
Yeah. I know that one already. It's funny.
It's like goes everywhere. It's like super hard.
Yeah. I've seen a movie or a video with, it was literally like a third person view of a bee flying. So the cameras, I think it was in America's Funniest Home Videos or something, but it was that song playing. And
The Flight of the Bumblebee.
Yeah, so I didn't know that as a kid, but I know the song. It's one of those songs that everybody's heard,
Yeah.
whether they don't know their name or not.
Yeah, yeah. And I've seen a guy play it on guitar, and it made me laugh. It was so cool.
That would be funny.
I was like, what the heck is going on? And I was like, that guy's cool. I'm going to feel stupid if it's not Chopin. I just said that I know a lot about all that classical stuff now.
Well, in your defense, you said you were really into it for like, what'd you say, a week?
Like 6 months.
Okay, never mind. Well, now you're
But it
shot
was
yourself
like
in
years
the
ago.
foot.
It was like 4 years ago. So
If you were to say I was really into it for a week, therefore don't get mad at me because I don't know much. I was just into it for a week, but no 6 months. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably gonna be called stupid if the name is wrong.
you know that song, it's from every movie, the one from Ocean's 11 when they've succeeded.
Yeah, that song. I know.
I think that's Claire de Lune, and I think it's Debussy.
yes, it is Claire de Lune.
I think it's Debussy though.
I don't know who did it though. I know the name of the song.
Yeah, and so like Debussy, like I feel like is the most consistently like really good, like at least beautiful songs. And like there's one or two other ones that are even more pretty than that song, and I also really like the Moonlight Sonatas. You definitely know two of those two. The na 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 na
Yep.
na na. That's the first movement, and then the third movement is the it's that it goes like that. You would know it if you heard it.
What? Stick your hand in the camera so I can refocus.
It's really fast. If it wasn't made clear by that. But Beethoven's really good at piano, and he did it. And the second Moonlight Sonata kind of sucks.
Which one?
The second one. I think there's 5.
Just talk. We'll try to get
Okay, so the first one, here's how it goes, and people make fun of this. Like, there's a lot of jokes in the community of classical music that they all know this, but it's like the first one is like sad and calm, and then the second one's like happy and stupid, and then the third one's like sad but super stressful and fast. So, but I remember hearing the second one was like, this doesn't even sound like the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's called the Moonlight Sonata. It's like the same. It's continued, I guess. I'll show you them afterwards because you'll be like, oh yeah, I know that's the one. I thought I did a pretty good job with the third movement just now. I think that sounds like it.
Yeah, I know.
Did you know what I was doing?
Exactly. I'd asked you to repeat it as a joke, but I'm sure like most everyone who will hear that will know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Said that like you were just doubtful.
Well, I was like tired. I was like,
okay.
I thought I did it. I want to hear. I want to hear an operatic singer try to do what I just did, but accurately. Like
I'm sure it's possible, but it's still
no.
there'd be someone who could do the best job possible. It wouldn't be correct, it would be close. It would sound funny no matter how well or how badly he did it. It'd just be funny.
Yeah, I just love the third movement and the first movement of the Moonlight Sonata because like the part that's good is not necessarily that really hard. Like that part is hard to play, and it's like you can tell while watching it. But like the part that's like the best is at the end when it's like building again, and it's like. Like all that stuff really, oh man, it's just getting me going right now. Like I want to just go listen to it and like rock out hard to some classical Beethoven, dude.
That reminds me of that Vine of, was it not Chopsticks? Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
The bass, high note, and the guy dancing. So you want to listen to, and you want to be like, rock out, popping your hair,
pull it out. Just
actually, that would sound really good as like a electric Tanner guitar.
They've done it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. That would be like that. You'd be like a banger.
Yeah, they made it. They made it. I'll show you that too.
That's what I want.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
That's the main thing it is. To me, the coolest stuff is the classical stuff on acoustic guitar. Because there's no like help. Because like, you know, electric guitar, you can kind of like do stuff and help it. But like you have to actually pluck all the strings and do all the hammer-ons with the acoustic. Yeah. Like then electric guitar, you can kind of, you don't fake it. It's really playing, but it's easier. I think it's easier.
I get it.
I mean, I play guitar, so I think I have some idea, but I don't play a lot of electric guitar. But I have what I've played from it. I remember being like, this is like helping. It like is easier to play. I think it is.
It's the equivalent of playing a piano versus playing a digital piano, where it's a touch piano. You like if you played a piano on a screen and you're just pushing a flat screen, all I have to do is touch a key. It's similar to that, where the technique, you don't have to hit the key correctly. It fills out the note for you as long as you meet it.
I don't know if that's quite the best, but I see what you're saying. I think it's probably more like singing without auto-tune and then singing with it. Like with singing with no effects, you have to be perfect to sound good singing with no effects. But if you just add some reverb and a little bit of auto-tune, then you can sound awesome doing anything.
Yeah,
it's like why people sing in the shower.
I think that's a better analogy.
Because it will correct your tones is what electric guitar will do. It doesn't. Not really, because if you play the wrong note, it's going to play the wrong note. But if you're playing the right notes, you don't have to pluck very hard. It'll still sound like you're plucking it hard because the amplifier.
That's what I meant by like touching the key on a screen, and it just plays the note correctly for you instead of.
I see.
The technique isn't as important. You just have to meet the note.
Yeah.
Maybe what we both said probably lend to what it's like, but I think your analogy is better based on what I know. I don't know anything about playing guitar.
Really, you've played guitar a little bit, like. Tiny bit.
I play Guitar Hero really well. Well, fairly well. No, not really well. That's it. Not real guitar. It doesn't count.
I used to be really good at Dance Dance Revolution. Do you know that?
No.
I'm still actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. I actually bought it. I have it down in the living room. Did I make you play?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good still. I used to be like really good. I would go to like laser tag places and then I'd just be like, just be like, go on my legs like crazy.
Did you ever play not Guitar Hero, what's it called? Rock Band?
Yeah.
I actually think I like Rock Band more. I like the guitar. I was not good at drums. I just couldn't figure it out. Were you good at the Guitar Hero drums, Rock Band drums? I feel like, or
I only played Rock
did you ever
Band.
do it?
I only played Rock Band a few times.
Play the drums?
Well, like I actually played the drums growing up, and I remember thinking I'm going to be awesome at this, but it's just different because like the notes are coming at you, and you don't know how to read that kind of notation yet. It's like different, and like they each have a dedicated space, and you don't think of notes like linearly that way. You think of notes linearly like this. So anyway, I actually know how to read drums transcribed too. My dad taught me. Yeah. I'm not fast at it. It would take me a very long time, but I know how to do all that stuff. Yeah, Rock Band was fun though. I really liked playing like guitar. I don't think I was terrible. I think I got to like medium and sometimes hard on guitar with Guitar Hero. So I was like, for not owning the game, I was okay.
For guitar, I was expert sometimes, but usually just hard. That's
Really?
what I was. I couldn't always do experts. And it was like, I can't do
I could
that.
barely do some hards, so I was pretty. But I also didn't own the game. I bet if I would have been able to practice, I could have been better. Could have gone pro, probably. I think we are ready to go pro. Yeah, Dance Dance Revolution was my jam, especially the Dance Dance Revolution Mario mix, because we only had Nintendo consoles, and so they only had a few games, and the one that we owned was the Mario mix, and I still have that game.
Good.
That's the one that we play when we play it. My favorite one of those. This is going on the train again. One of my favorite memories of laughing so hard my stomach, like I couldn't breathe. Like hardest times I've ever laughed in a night was one time we ate chili because my Uncle Buzz prepared chili for dinner. My parents were out of town or they were going to be home late for some reason, and I had been teaching Uncle Buzz Dance Dance Revolution. And we ate chili, and then we went to go play Dance Dance, and we were farting so much. And like I remember there's this one song that I was trying to beat on the hardest level, and I could beat it every time, but I wanted to beat it perfectly. Like I didn't want any goods. I wanted all perfect. And I was so close. I'd get close like 2 away or something. And so I was just grinding this all night, and all that jumping made the farts like 10 times worse. And you know, like when you're jogging and you fart, you could do that. Because it's almost like you fart out, but then on the up,
Suck it back in.
it kind of sucks back in. Yeah. Well, imagine through a whole 2-minute song, just like very fast, and I could hear Buzzy going, like wheezing in the background, and Mara was like, everybody couldn't breathe, and I was like crying, laughing, like doing this like very fast song, trying to do it perfectly, and that was the only time I ever did it perfectly. It's like, I mean,
Oh, you did it perfectly good.
Yeah,
That's
despite
awesome.
farting the whole
You
time.
brought it around. You had a sad story, and now you brought a really good story with a good ending. Good ending.
it was so funny. For anybody who knows that game, it was the Luigi's Mansion on Super Hard. And I did it perfecly while
Now I
farting
want
so
to
much.
see that song with the guitar, and I want to look up Luigi's Mansion Hard Dance to see what it looks like. So I got an idea of how crazy it would have been.
It's not actually super crazy. It's kind of slow, but it's like
Sure, it's not easy when you're farting and people are laughing and you're laughing and you're crying.
I was literally looking at the TV through tears. I was laughing so because I remember like blinking and rubbing my face like this because of sweat and tears and farts.
who knows
It smells
how
so
long.
bad. Well, and we would take turns, and Buzzy would try it, and he was farting too, and so he would be, and it was just so funny. Yeah, we had a lot of very fun like laugh episode nights when Buzzy would watch us. There's this one night, here's another story. My family's going to recognize this story right away if they ever listen to this, but my parents they were gone that night. And I remember my mom, we had this garden in our backyard, and she liked to make cute signs for all the plants that we'd plant. And so she had hand painted, her and my grandma had hand painted all of these beautiful little tiny signs. Like this one said tomatoes and this one said peach, or, apple. I don't know. There wasn't any fruits, but it was like asparagus or squash, beets. There was all these things. And I remembered we were in the living room and I was like playing guitar. And this is when I was first learning guitar, but I had learned like how to do some basic chords. And I was practicing my finger picking. And I was just looking around and trying to annoy Buzzy, and I was singing everything that I saw. Like, there is Buzzy walking around the kitchen. And then eventually turned into Buzzy sitting down and just resigning to, this is what we're doing with our evening. We're singing things we see in the room. And I remember Buzzy, like after being mad for hours at me, like hours of me singing, he like sat down and he looks across the room and he reads the signage that's drawing there and he goes, tomato and tarragon, basil, zucchini. And he started singing this song that was going all the way through the song. And it turned into, I got it. Then we'll sing it this way. And we started harmonizing it together. And it was like 2 a.m. and my mom came home and she had had a bad night. So she was all mad. And we were like, Mom, wait, don't go to bed. She's like, what? And we were like, beets, onions, loud. I started finger picking the song and we started harmonizing the song and we couldn't sing it without laughing. And we had my mom like rolling in laughter by the end of the night.
That's another good story.
Cause like what he kept doing is he was like, it was so soft. He kept doing this thing where he would not look at me and nod like this. It was so distracting because I'd be like, okay, don't look at me, just sing the song, because we were harmonizing together. And then he'd look over and he'd go, like meaningful eyes. It was so annoying.
That's like Olin Rogers' Balloon Shop, Braham's book sketch.
Oh yeah,
where he doesn't talk. He just
it was the exact
blinking
smile,
and the nod kind of a thing.
But it was more meaningful eyes.
Oh yeah,
like,
right. And with the but
it was so uncomfortable.
I could picture it. That's funny.
It was funny. Mara has the recording somewhere of us like laughing,
good.
trying to prepare it.
That's
I need
good.
to have her find that and send it to me because it'll make everybody happy who watches it. I'll show it to you.
There aren't going to be
like,
any haters because you're just talking about like vegetables and produce. So like, who's gonna dislike it?
Well, and she also likes, my mom likes signage that says like Bible related things, like most Christian moms. Like they like putting like Bible things on the walls and Bible verses and whatever. And because it was a garden, she had like a sign for grapevine. But she didn't put grapevine on there. She put I am the vine in quotes. And so that was the part we'd harmonize. So it was extra funny when we got through basil, zucchini, beets, onions, lavender, I am the vine. And like we would harmonize, I am the vine. And like and it was all like meaningful and quiet. Yeah. You'd have to be there to really fully appreciate it, but I think you get how annoying I was, which is the funny part.
The funniest part to me is winning him over eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Him being annoyed. In fact, he just resigns himself to.
This is what we're doing.
He joins like, yes, that's the way.
Yep.
That's the way.
Yep. I did that a lot. That's why I kept like doing that stuff a lot. I'd just like annoy him until he would be like, okay, this is what we're doing then. It was great.
That was good. We should do that again sometime. Another train of thought episode where the whole goal is to just, if you think of something, just go there. It's a fun way to have a conversation.
I like it too. We'll call this one Train of Thought
Train
1.
of thought. No, I don't have to call it one. It was about to be childhood, which we've done a childhood before, but just call it Train of Thought. It could be.
There's a lot of childhood, but it's Train of Thought.
Train of Thought.
Cool.
Oh, I fell asleep. I fell on my chair, on my seat. Anyway.
I smell terrible and I'm very hot. I kept this blanket on because I want there to be no like thinking that I'm naked, but I kind of wanted there to be
like
that.
kind of wanted there to be the suspicion.
Like maybe
you know, don't know.
he is, but I'm starting to smell me, so I need to go shower.
Okay. Well, then you are dismissed. And thank you guys for listening to the listening show, a show you can listen to. I had to make sure I got that right before we finished.
Yeah, and that is what you're supposed to do with it. So thank you for doing it. And if you did, and if you didn't, then suck.
You should think about what you've done.
You should be ashamed of yourself. So can you go? Thank you for joining, though.
Yeah. You'll smell us next time.
I gotta